Much like how every night has its day barely received advertising, this episode received no advertising at all, except for these advertisements in the UK. And keep in mind, this is supposed to be the series finale of Nixel's misleading intro. You may think that the Nixels shown in the intro would be the main characters. But the real main characters go to some background Nixels from the previous episode, those being Booger, Zabo, Blip and Scrud, as shown in the title images. Also, the ninjas and the noosers are the only Nixels that have Lego sets to have major roles. The rest of the Nixels either have only one speaking role, appearing for just a cameo, and even not appearing at all. Some of the characters got a bit flanderized, such as Mr. who is supposed to be the quiet one, aka the one that doesn't say much, yet he has the most lines out of the three ninjas. And Zabo was one of the bullies in the last episode, but here he is one of Booger's friends. Booger has changed from a BG Nixel who would become Camille's best friend, to a generic and one-dimensional fearless leader who idols the ninjas. He also doesn't even mix with any Nixel. And the episode would promote him as the power of one Nixel cliché in a show about working together. The MCFD have been flandized into very mean-spirited and rude Nixels who are adamant about not mixing with each other. They also huge karma Houdinis as they didn't get any comeuppance or scolding from the fire chief from not saving the Mixie Cat. Booger's friends are no better and they don't even have personalities, except maybe Zabo. They just tag along with Booger and they don't do very much. Also, their names are very weird and don't really mean anything. That is something unlike the other Nixels that have names that indicate which tribe they're in, their powers, their personalities etc. There appears to be a hidden jab at Apple fans, aka iSheep. The whole concept of the Nixels becoming zombies and worshipping the Nixels when they trade for the iQubits feels like an offensive take that, especially with the "I've been in the line for 7 days" quote uttered by Frazlo. Plot holes. If all Maxes can fly, then why couldn't the ninjas or noosers just max and fly up to the iQubit tower? How are the four main kids, the ninjas, the noosers and the fire chief not affected by the negative vibes that the Nixels sent? How did Scrud get to the Mixopolis Stadium despite sticking with Booger in the iQubit tower? It's never explained how Booger got his powers to unnix the Nixels. On that note, if Booger got the ability to unnix the Nixels, then here's their big question. Why didn't Booger just do that previously in the first place? How did Booger grow in size and then he shrunk down like nothing happened? If the ninjas are undercover heroes, then who makes the comics? If the ninjas aren't undercover, then how come nobody seems to know that they exist? Majority of BG Nixels are recolored and renamed, which counts as frickin' lazy. Screwed is just Asteroid. Lolriclock is just Shiver. Vespi is just Kano, and Kano is just Nummy. Blodger is just Blip. Greg Plant is just Rocky. Rubbersh is just Squiddo. Slime Time is just Freezy Breezy. Munchstache is just Tycoon. Zinc is just Lixian. Fez is just Watt. Glued is just Frit Jerk. Bark is just Gummo. Wintry Frit is just the teacher. T-Flex is just Zabo. Charlie is just Journalist, and Journalist is Cogpact, and Cogpact is Banjo. The animation suffered a downward spiral, and it looks awful. There's loads of animation errors that include but not limited to, Hydro's below jaw glitching whenever he talks. Cam's his mouth not moving when he says "I'll get us in." Sergio and Tuff having two normal arms. Sharks missing his eye patch. Spinza incorrectly smiling when he questions why the MCFD won't just put the fire out. Size inconsistencies such as Splasho being too small or Gobble being too big. Footy, one of the tallest Nixels, being the same size as Pyro, an average-sized Nixel. Most of the dialogue is all over the place, with characters like Booger and Major Nixel. Incredible cheesy said by some of the characters. There's barely any mixing in the special, which does not make sense for a show called Nixels. The Ninjas Max is the only Max shown in this special, and not the other Maxes from series 8 to 9. There is technically 2 since Thorny, Volts and Hertz do Max near the ending, but that couldn't really count as a Max. The first part of the final battle is a blatant ripoff on the Goofy Goober sequence from the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, 2004. involving a musical number to defeat the antagonist's minions. Even the way Booger fires the rainbow energy lasers from his hands at the brainwashed Nixels to turn them back to normal is a ripoff of said Goofy Goober sequence from the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, 2004. Missed opportunity. After the first part of the final battle where Booger and his friends free some of the Nixels including the ninjas, King Nixel has his Nixel army combined to form a large Nixel monster to fight Booger. Because this is the series finale of Nixels, which is a show about mixing, the final battle could have instead been King Nixel combining with all of the Nixel army and the remaining brainwash Nixels and turn into a large Mega Ultra Nixel monster, while Booger, his friends, the ninjas and the remaining Nixels that have been freed from the mind control could have also coming into a large Mega Ultra Nixel monster and then does battle with the now large Mega Ultra King Nixel monster, which would have been a fantastic concept for a climax, but that never happens. The voice acting is inconsistent. Just listen to Munchstatia's lines.
Hey! Catch my soda!
And
it's simplicity, man.
You'll notice that his voice changes oddly. Wait, what the f?
Overall, due to the amount of flaws, the huge amount of plot holes and the lack of any advertising, trailers that says that this is the series finale, aside from its trailer in the UK, Nixel Go Away feels very rushed, as if it was original meant to be a mid-season finale, season final of Nixels, before it was changed into being the series finale of Nixels.